Hey, hi. Let me show you how I use Blender's potential to plan shot sequences that create a scene in an animated film. Blender's unique coexistence of 2D and 3D graphics tools helps us in the process. In this regard, Blender is quite exceptional. The presence of these two vastly different approaches to animation opens up many new possibilities. If you are like me and you don't have a clear vision from start of how your final film will look, proper preparation is a crucial aspect of the production process. The creating of storyboard, Stilomatic and Animatic. Without this, production can turn into a festival of trial and error. While in 3D animation we can adjust the camera positions and angles even at a later stage of production, in 2D animation bad decisions regarding the compositions of sequential shots can result in wasting hours of work. My problem has always been that until I saw how sequence of shots looked when placed on the timeline, I wasn't sure if they would function well as a part of an animated film. Would they not only look good on screen but also be understandable to the audience? Would my main character have enough time in the shot to move from point A to point B? And if not, how could I solve that problem? Would a cutaway shot would help or rather disrupt the continuity of the action? When Blender and particularly Grease Pencil came into my life, while a strange tool originally designed for note-taking that allows drawing in 3D space, I realized that with a bit of an effort it could be used as the perfect system for creating highly detailed animatics. Moreover, I suspected that much of the work done during animatic creation, such as setting up a 3D camera, could be utilized in later stages of production. So how do I go about creating an animatic like this? For both backgrounds and characters, I alternately use 2D and 3D elements. In any other program, this would be tedious and problematic. Switching between 2D and 3D would require frequent rendering of individual elements and processing them in separate programs. Blender eliminates this necessity. Take a look at this short scene. A small boy opens a door, runs down the stairs and continues deeper into the yard. I started by drawing a simple layout of the yard. Here will be the door on the upper floor, here be the stairs, and over there the gate where the boy will turn later in the film. By fully utilizing the ability to draw in 3D space and using the 3D cursor's position and rotation to determine where my drawings should appear, I created a simple block model of the yard. Wouldn't it be more convenient to use 3D meshes? Sure. Whatever works best for you, dear user. That's exactly what I did in this sequence. I drew a simple room layout and used very basic shapes to create models of furniture and walls, which later served as references for my 2D drawings. Alright, the backgrounds are important, but what about the characters? For me, everything starts with a simple flat 2D sketch. Then, using basic shapes like spheres, cylinders and cubes, I create a 3D reference for the character based on the 2D drawing. I don't want it to be too detailed. I want to leave some room for creativity during 2D animation rather than just tracing existing 3D models. I rigged this block model using Blender's built-in Rigify add-on. I'm too lazy and lack the knowledge to create my own rigs. Now, it's time to place my character in the previously created yard. I like to start working on 3D animation by changing the interpolation method between keyframes from Bezier to constant. I begin with the poses I consider absolutely essential. Then I gradually refine the animation using the interpolate tool and frequently check the motion paths of important rig elements. Now it's time to work on the camera and break this master shot into individual shots. To do this, I adjust the camera's angle and position at moments I deem appropriate. At this stage, I also switch the interpolation method to constant. Now, by manipulating the camera's keyframes, I can effectively control the duration of each shot. Remember that the focal length of the camera can also be keyed, offering even more possibilities for adjusting the angle and the position. I continue shifting the keyframes of the camera and character in the dope sheet until I'm satisfied. Once I'm happy with the result, I can confidently move forward. My sequence was initially intended to be hand-drawn, but that's not the only way to go. With this animatic, I could likely complete the film as a, for example, stylized 3D animation. If I plan to hire an animation studio for the final production, having an animatic like this allows me to clearly define my expectations for character animations and backgrounds for the artists handling these aspects. Yeah, but I like to do everything by myself, right? That's why I created a new grease pencil object and used the child off constraint to attach it to the camera. This way, when working on the final animation, I don't have to remember to move the grease pencil object every time the camera changes the position. If I decide I need more keyframes in my blocky 3D rig, I can add them without any problem. If the 3D reference looks off, I can draw a pose with grease pencil and adjust the 3D reference as needed. This process allows me to create a project where I can make adjustments by alternately using 2D and 3D elements until I'm fully satisfied with the result. I don't want you to misunderstand. I'm not saying this workflow will make your films create by themselves. It still requires considerably experience and skills in both 3D and 2D, but maybe you can take something useful from this workflow, something that will help you start working on your own animated film. If you'd like me to go into more detail on any of these elements, just let me know in the comments. Either way, good luck and see you next time. Bye.